Well, hello there, and welcome back to Wetlines. You join me, Ian Baker, down on another fishing session. As the title suggests, I'm at a mystery lake. Ooh la la. It is a secret venue. It'll be remaining a secret. I will not be divulging the location. It's a new syndicate / club ticket type situation I've got myself involved on. So obviously I can upload my sessions. I just cannot tell you where it is, what it is, or anything. So enjoy the secrecy of that. So this is my first ever session on the lake at the venue. Now at said venue there are two lakes that I'm interested in fishing, because they've obviously got the carp in and whatnot, yada yada yada, and then there's two other lakes over yonder, a bit more your match fishing, pleasure fishing, all that malarkey. So I am currently on, we're going to call it cryptically Lake 1. You don't need to know where we're at. I'm on Lake 1, where there is essentially an unknown stock of fish. I know from pictures there's at least a couple of 30-pounders in here. So we've got something to go for. And then there's another lake, we'll call that Lake 2, that's just over yonder, that at some point I will be fishing. And that has an unknown stock, and we'll leave it there. That's literally an unknown stock. They don't know what's in there. There could be nothing, there could be lots, we don't know. So obviously I'm going to have a few sessions on there as well. But like I said, for today's session on the Mystery Lake, we're on Lake 1. I'm going to scan the camera around and give you a little peek of what's going on. So this is part of my swim. We got some nice lily pads as they coming up on the camera. We've got a nice lily pad section, which looks delightfully enticing. We've got a nice little cheeky little random reeds in the middle here. We've got another little reed section just behind this tree. A nice margin down there. As you can see, the lake's got a bit of size about it. I'm not saying it's massive at all, but you know, a few other swims over there. Again, we've got a nice little bit of lilies down there, which I imagine will eventually over time grow as big as over yonder. And then we've got all this to aim at. Bit of tree line margin. There is a couple of swims down there. Or if you're feeling real audacious and fruity, you could cast all the way over to that island there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because that's mostly ridiculous. So what I'm doing, to start off with, I know on my most previous sessions I've done quite well on the double corn, but we're not going in with that for starters. Being that this is a lake that I'm going to, you know, try and progress on and get some achievements with, I'm going to start off fishing on my other go-to baits. So we've got the Supreme Cream on one, because it's probably my favourite ultimate bait right now. Smell is amazing. It's a beauty. And the other one I'm going to put out here is create my own, which is my Tootie and Nut Tiger Nut. So they're the two I've put out there. We've got a Supreme Cream wafter right on the edge of these reeds, on the lilies here. So they've just chucked a little bit of the freebie boilies out there with that. And then rod number 2. And rod number 2, I don't know if you can see it, but there's that reed line there, and it comes out, there's a bit that sticks out there, right where the sun's beaming on it right now. That's where I've put my Tootie Tiger Nut wafter, again with a handful of freebies over it. That's where we're starting proceedings. That's what we're going with. What I am partial to right now, I am the only person on the lake. I'm the only person at the entire venue. Muy bien. But anyway, the lake obviously does go behind, I think I've scanned in again. The lake does go behind this island, goes that way, and it does go around that way and channels around. It's a bit more of a narrow stretch, but it does go behind there. I'm sure over the time of me fishing here and vlogging it, we'll move around and attack the different swims. But this is the first swim I've gone for, and I'll tell you for why. Because it's a Friday evening after work, you know, feeling a little bit lazier than normal, so we've gone for this benefit of Just put the vehicle right there, making for a lovely, easy setup. So yeah, it is, as I said, it's Friday evening. It is approximately and exactly 7:36 in the PM on a Friday. I'm here till whenever I can be bothered to leave on Sunday. That's the beauty of it. You just turn up, you know, much like a lot of you probably have with syndicates. You pay and you just turn up when you want and go when you want, within reason. Well, that is what I've got going on here, and I am partial to it. Never had a syndicate type club lake thing before. I like this first one. But anyway, like I said, vis-a-vis the stats of fishing here, overall, don't really have a clue. Besides, I know there's at least a couple of 30-pounders. So that is something nice to aim for. So we're going to try. The main aim of this vlog as such, this diary, Mystery Lake diary, is to try and get ourselves a 30-pounder out of it. Anything more than that, it might be big news to everyone else who fishes this venue, because I think to everyone's knowledge, the 30s are the biggest. But I don't know how big. I don't know how big in the 30s. But yeah. So yeah, welcome to the Mystery Lake Diaries, Vlog 1. Stay tuned. Rightio people, so it's now the next morning. We've had a bit of an opportunity to have a little lead around. First of all, last night obviously nothing happened. Had a couple of liners on the rod that was down by these reeds, but nothing come of that. But yeah, we've had a bit of a lead around everywhere today. Can't find anything besides what feels like a very decent bit of silt everywhere. Quite thick silt. So we're going for a tactical change. If you've watched the channel before, you'll know that I'm not exactly a connoisseur of the solid bag game, but we're going to go down for solid bags on both rigs. So I've just rustled up my first one, which is going to have a Banoffee 8mm barrel wafter from Eclipse there. Lovely little tiny little baits. Ideal for your solid bag fishing. And then the other one, because I don't know what colour might do the business here, we're going for the pineapple and butric from Eclipse baits as well, and also the beautiful little 8mm. They would work beautiful if you was fishing over sweet corn as well, because they are very similar in size to a bit of sweet corn. So I'm going to put a solid bag rig out on both of them. Within the bag itself, it's just going to have a mixture of generic, well, one of them's Supreme Cream, the other one is just, I don't know, a pallet. But this is my first attempt at a solid bag. I know to a lot of you this is not going to be great. I can't help it. It's probably only the third bag I've ever made in my life. It's not my cup of tea, but we're going to try it. We're going to get used to it, and we're going to do it more often. But that's my bag. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, we got the hook point and the boilies on the the wafters that's there on top of the lead. We'll see how it goes. Seems pretty firm to me. So we're gonna fling them bad boys out. Now the first one I'm gonna try, if I don't mess it up, is right in that gap between the lilies. I've seen quite a bit of fizzing in there in the last half hour-ish. Just in there, in that little gap there. So that's probably where this one's going to go, because it's ready to roll. And then the other one is going to be a much more vague pub chuck. And I'll really forgive me here, because I can't see a damn thing on this screen. Generically out to the left a bit, there's just been a lot of fizzing. A lot of fish showing a bit more. I don't know if it picked up on that, showing that fizzing on the camera there, but to the left of that a bit. Now I've no idea if you saw that or not. If not, I'll get some footage of the area later, because the sun is directly in front of me right now, and it's not optimal for some camera pointing that way filming. But that's what we're going to do, so as I said, from further leading about, double silty, solid bags, 8mm wafters. Let's get it going. Radio people, so it's now day, whatever, Sunday morning. I got here Friday, whatever day equals. Still no fish. But I did have a take last night, upsettingly. Rod absolutely ripped off. Got into it, and by the time I got into it, it was the rod I had on the corner of the lilies down there. I got to it as quick as I could, but by the time I got to it, it was in the middle of them lilies. And it hook pulled or come off, all in all come off. So that was quite disappointing. But the positive is I got a bite on my solid bags, which again, I'm trying to introduce into my fishing. And it was a bite on the Banoffee 8mm wafter from Eclipse Baits, so we're going to persevere with that, but I'm going to mix it up a bit. Well, I'm not going to mix it up, but I am honestly going to put a lot more tighter clutch on, and I'm going to have to sit way closer to the rods. But I'm going to put one back out where it was, because obviously it got me a bite. It did the job. It was probably about a foot away from the lilies, enough time I thought that would give me a chance to get to it. I was wrong. And the second rod, I'm going to try and absolutely nail it. I've done the wraps for it. Getting right in there. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, I saw a little back fin of what looked like a mirror come out of there or something, or well, it's a fish. I've already had a rod in there at some point during my session here, but it didn't produce. But that was when I wasn't doing solid bags, I think. So I'm going to try my best to get a solid bag right in there on the white Banoffee as well, and see if that gets me any carp. Let's say there's no one else actually fishing the venue, so in terms of fish pressure or fish being moved around the lake, that ain't really happening. So it's either they're either in my swim or they're not, or I've got to try and lure them in. So the aim of the game is solid bag on each one. I'm going to catapult some freebies, my tiger nut and coconut boilies over the top of it. Try and lure them in, see if we can get some action on that. But yeah, it is currently 8:22 in the AM. So I'm going to get them rods out now. I'm here until whenever I want to leave, but it'll probably be lunchtime because I've got work tomorrow and I like to get home and have a little pack up, get things situated, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, rod's out, and fingers crossed there'll be a fish soon. Cheers. Well, here we go, people. We got fish number one on the new Mystery Lake, and I tell you what, this ain't a bad first fish. This ain't a bad first fish anywhere, let alone in a lake where the answers are unknown. But we'll take a look at it. It's not particularly happy. We'll see if we can get it. Oh, Lord. Not happy at all. Let's see how this goes. Beautiful mirror. Oh, the fish are not happy. This one is not happy. Goodness gracious. Fella is livid. Here we go. Fish number one at the Mystery Lake. Come off the 8mm Banoffee wafter from Eclipse Baits on a solid bag with the supreme cream just in between the lily pads. I'm very happy with that. Easy. I'm very happy with that for a first fish here. We'll get a quick snap of it while it's semi-calm. Have a quick weigh and put it back. Beautiful. Dead on 24 pound. Cheers. Take a knee, fella. Take a knee. There you go. That worked. Angriest fish ever. Oh, well, there we go, people. Absolutely chuffed as punch about that. Fish number one, £24 on a solid bag. It's my first ever solid bag caught fish. That may seem a bit weird to you lot, but it's just not something I've done before. I'm trying to get used to. I've been spending most of this session trying to learn how to make them and do the best I can, including making a rig. And there we go. Caught a fish on my own rig on a solid bag on an Eclipse bait, 8mm banoffee. Perfect for your solid bags, these. Look at them. Lovely and tiny. They do a few flavours, but the white ones here have done the business. And like I said, that was on the one I said I was going to put out. Just in that little gap there. I was absolutely double pleased with the cast. Fired out some of me, create my own tiger nut, coconut boilies out there, because I've heard they like a bit of a coconutty potential vibe here. We got ourselves a fish, so stay tuned for more. Hopefully there'll be more coming up soon. Rightio people, that's it. Session's over, as you can see. We're under the van door, everything's packed. Obviously on my next trip of this venue I will not be in this swim. I've got to try and move around and get a good idea of what's going on at this lake. But session one done, one fish in the bag. Double chuff with that. £24 mirror as well. It was a beautiful fish. As I said, don't really know what the stock's like in here. No one's 100% sure. All they know is there's at least a couple of 30s when it comes to the bigger fish. So a £24 has got to be up there somewhere. So double chuff with that. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from the mystery lake, feel free to hit that subscribe button. There'll be a whole series of me at this venue, on this lake, and eventually the other lake down there, which is even more unknown stock. And we'll see what I can get out of this lake. Obviously there will be more sessions coming up on your more regular day tickets, your Elphics, your Hartley Lands, your Mousehole, your wherever. I'm sure at Cottingtons, of course. I'm sure I've got some of them sessions booked up coming throughout the year. But yeah, so from me and the mystery lake, keep those lines wet and I'll see you next time.